Vakatabu Sautu kana lamani chuchuwa turanga wale usaka imbu masanga randa masaka chukana ngan maramba la rutun keti na ngan turanga na tuisuwa misaka na toko vesini vanua wa turanga na lamani kore chin kawalu tambala saka chukana no muni abuso wa turanga na single buni kuwa tio saka na matini tikina ni saka na bitadini bai tal klani sore chuk saka ke tio rale bukum to sarang kasni lotu. Young academics, I wish to acknowledge your presence too. And also I wish to acknowledge the presence of our keynote speakers who have been speaking yesterday and today, and some will take us on tomorrow. And to their vanuas, Unabaturanga and Solomoni, Dr. Gigio and Professor Kabini, my Hawaii, Professor Jonathan, Martin Tuvaturang Samoa, Professor Polu, and Reverend Dr. Ayava. My topic, I'm bringing my canoe because I'm from the island. The topic that I will be taking you through today before lunch, it's not a good time because lunch is around the corner. Ecology and relational ethics. Na vanua na nungu biwakani na nungu Sautu. Klani sama bola kasarati ko na nonra may wasati ko na marama may na undu poindi na nonra buso na ngone turana tiduko Dr. Sili. The term ecology and relational ethics na vanua na nungu biokani kina nungu Sautu, it actually reflects who I am in relation to where I live, the trees, the flowers, the creatures, the land creatures, the sea creatures, relating to the people, the Nungubio kind of Vanua, and also across the sea of islands, not islands in the sea. So I wish to acknowledge Dr. Hawafa actually changed the term, sea of islands, in which we are connected. I recall Professor Jonathan yesterday mentioned something about that connectivity and that relationality. It took me back 2 years ago when I was in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I was talking to my supervisor at the Maori University called Te Whare Wananga o Awanuirangi. And all of a sudden there was a phone call. He told me, Eddie, excuse me, I had to talk to my makopuna. After he talked, then I asked him, what is mokopuna? He said, that's my grandchild. Oh, mokopuna. For us in Fiji, it's makumbuna. In Hawaii, Professor Jonathan? So there you are. Makumbuna, mokopuna, maopuna. That's what I call relationality. During my days with Professor Kabini at USP, I was introduced to other two friends from Samoa and Tonga. Somebody called me in English, Olakuibe. Then I said, in Fijian, that's called, where are you going? In Fijian, it's called Lakuibe. In Tonga, Professor Kabini can tell us, Halo ki fe. Halo ki fe. Lakuibe, halo ki fe in Samoa, alifea. So there's a lot of connectivity and relationality. Just two weeks ago, as Professor Hupolu has alluded to, we had a 2 weeks course. There's one lady that came from Kiribati at Kiribati. She called me to come and join her in this next to her sit. She called me in her language. Nakomai, takatakayikai. Come and sit here next to me. Amazing connectivity, nakomai, lakomai. So there's already been some connectivity and relationality. So the meeting today is very, very important as we try to, today and tomorrow and yesterday, to try to reconnect back and see how best we can talk more about who we are and what we are. I'm going to begin with a poem. You can see the English version on the screen, but I'll read to you the Itauke translation, which I wrote just 2 days ago. It actually encapsulates the whole story of what I'm trying to share with you today, which actually supports my previous speakers that have spoken. Butoni wura tekebu mekasere ni kinda na malawa ni mataka. Sera na manu munde na dhangi kambilinga na o kiloma kibendalana. Tau na uda nrondo na udhi wai ki wasa e riko na elongu du yandra de takala. Kau yandra maina tandra isa nongo viti nongo pasifika au ndaulamana. E musiti au niu sarava na kiana waka sambu taki na soli talei na ve kambula e au waka maringeti. Lulunga ka sea butika ne topo waka itokei. Bolei na i waka rau waka wanoni sa tekebu me sa vi sola ka dhuru di wai. Keni topo bobo sa dhuru mi viti sa surabek mai. E mbala tambaka nira sa nguna bulangi dhuru misnisi mbokodi na viti kambani. Sambi kai sombu kambedi na nongo bosa i topo ka umbilingi me utamata bulangi. Ira nongo ngase, era mbale mate, era vala karabukina. Ngauna nibikan kani rerevaki rasa sevita. Lotu ichisu na rarama vou rasandingya, era maroro non ritobo vosa, kene bakara undina vagavitia. Dhuruni vanua, tawas na lotu, nrakive sau sa tarayu mai, kakana na ua nimbaravi, Nambani wa lutun romu kitakali. Romu na nyanu e na wale levu ni sambasuki na lau ni viale alati. Mbole na mbula dho kai na wotu nialo ka ngu me baka sangarai. Me buke tale, me bueti tale ka maroroi na yau maringeti viti baka sameni. Me usa Vakatabu. Me rkovi na yau baka maringeti isa na nungu viti. Na nungu wasvika au dhimbi tuendai. The story of creation at the beginning in Genesis chapter 1 clearly tells us what God did when he made the earth. Let there be light, and there was light. God divided light from the darkness, and God called night light day and darkness night. Let waters under the heaven be gathered together under one place, and let the dry land appears, and it was so. God called the dry land earth, and gathering together of the waters he called seas. And the earth brought forth grass and herbs, yielding seeds after his kind, and the trees yielding fruits, whose seed was in itself after his kind. Let the earth bring forth after his kind, cattle, creeping things, and all the beasts, the creatures of the earth. 26 and 27, let us make man our image. God blessed them, and God said, be faithful, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon earth. The word dominion, in Hebrew, it's called mamlaka. It connotes the kingdom concept. So I want to tell a little bit more about this. So I was born into the last decades of colonialism before Fiji was ceded to Great Britain in 1874. At a very young age, at the age of 7, 8, 9, I saw colonialism at its best here in Fiji. So we used to be a colony, like in many of our island nations in the region. We were taught to do things as the British do. They drive on the right. They drink tea. Every Monday morning, we had to go to Lawaki District School, the school where I went to. We had to sing the national anthem. At the time, it is the British national anthem, God Save Our Gracious Queen. But we never get any chance to see the Queen of England. She was out there. That's colonialism at its best. They wouldn't know what is that. What does that mean? So even well before that, colonialism was right there at the beginning of the Bible, when God and his kingdom tried to colonize earth. Being in spirit, and then he created the world, as we have alluded to in chapter 1 of Genesis. We were made a being, a physical being. We have a body. And of course, a soul. So that qualifies man to be the only creature or life to be eligible, walking creature here on earth. And the Vakatabu na tamata menda menonta na buro-burongo membaleta na ramani bosoya. So all other spirits that are there at the underworld, according to principle, Professor Upolu, they are illegal here on planet Earth. So this is all the notion of the kingdom concept. We were given that dominion over the birds and the creatures of the land, and likewise for the one in the ocean, in the moana. Sulubi kenda na kaukaua menda ngaravira, menda raidira, nabi kambulongo, sasangabulan rawada mai undol na mbaki. So it's been for too long, and it's about time now to get back and see whether we're still doing it what we were tasked to do or not. So the relationality of ecology to what we have around us. A classical example is what was talked about earlier on this morning. Nanonda ivola vanua na itoke ni bonongo viti. Right? The vanua ecological relations in terms of our seasonal calendar that was printed by Itoke Affairs sometimes back. As I was kina na wanaturanga na toke didia na matakan kua. Ni tukuni vogo na bulo November, ana bule imbalolo lebu. Ara kelatu nangasa ni bule imbalolo lebu. Ina bono mamada sa teku mesara sena mango na kavika avai na viu nandawa na buoni viti kena bika tale so mai wai vikitu na tik mai mbarai mai wasawasa na ambasiga kina na sangale lebu na donu le lebu sarteku mesara tiku wasudu irana na ika mai wasawasa. Eba madal tatala nan raki na kare klanan gasen ngona ya. Wakin na bulo February. Right? Na kaya de na bulo February. Ndare na bulo imachi etukuni na bulo ngasau. En lo mani buno mamada kar semata nang gase en na buno iwaitui. En na bulo kel na bulo bereli sema binak sartunga. That's ecology and the relationality of who we are and how we see the beings around us. The bulo September, so the month of September, na bule babakanda, na mango, na tabola, during this time when fishermen go out diving for octopus, they must watch out for the kuita vengaravi, octopus swimming in pairs, because they attack. So when one spear one, the other one does not attack. Sera nandangase okenda na bula mai barat me wasawas. Watu anandra kini bula me da pasar na bulo Desember. Ante kelate ngone bula nungale lain do lele nunga January no bula nungalebu. Tapi na kata mandangoli nungalelebu na kana bula na bula January. So all along we've been connected to our ecology, to our environment, to the living things surrounding us. If we look closely into our vanua for the Fijian setup, that's a picture of my island way back in 1970. You can see all the Vale Bagaviti there. Nangaw na rataraki no nangas nambure Bagaviti, kalibu nangaw na sa ailitu ke nangonongo, e tu bata na keninaki, rakaya nandaw ni dindingo, ni Vale Bagaviti, nanraki katakata embatambatay loma, nanraki embatambatay engay katakatay loma. So now we've shifted from that into the modern way of infrastructure, of building our houses in our villages. So I remember during 1972 when the Hurricane Bibi, na venglamba lebo mbembe, nangaw na sambale kina na vale, may nito koro ko ni ritongori, sa turese nanduru sangay toka nan dalabu widake. Na bibukin matin tu se awa kalia sarangone. Kim sangke bangara na bora na kakana koram bula pa vitalia tu laman bikau. Merau kina na bula bising. That's the resilience. Na buku na ganga ni bula pa ito okay. Nganong ngendo na deng lambas indo na kayado. Santa para ronga pa matin tu. Santa wara kita tolon roto na Red Cross kirna bi song taleso merda buke kianda. Ena wanga pa viti. Erandau soko viso kaki wiron nandangase ena wanga pa viti. It's the only means of transportation nowadays. And today, unfortunately, this skill is dying out. But I'm glad, I think it's okay. Affairs and some of our organizations are going back to revive this great skill. Right? It has connection to the wisdom of the vanua and the epistemologies of the Itoke thinking, ways of doing things. Nganongo may nungu koro sa andrende na yado na bono ki mundo le siu ki na iliu bel ni sa saule bu na benisi ni indini dabu ki ba mundo ngoli bango I patu da ki al sare patu ra sorang ida sare ni nambo walu ki mlestal mai panga te ngana dangi pate ki na lada o sa mata ni ngona takaya ngonongo sa seng so o wanga bakalada food security nan rakbika ra bagaruta kanang kase ara turanga ra maramanganga kina panganon rambula unita kinendana do tiko sakana turangan koro do sakana toko besini bono do tiko na kabina na single boni kuwa do rabandi tati ko sona kaen den kletan kina no da bonua turanga matangali mai ra na bono boskina malal tati ko dona wale ni teyubi wombo tin leboni talo bina wa tu weekend bimbi bikito mai na bulbulewa na manreni viti e toni na adam tapioca gai toni sange ba sangari eroni mbiu eroni nda sindroni bulai wandu na lomani vita batana singa do ke mami mbonga tuni la ko wen lomani do na malawa ni ngoli ke na bi matangali vinga ravitale sore kleki non dangase bambaleta na ke na marroi wanende na kakana. We are currently going through this workshop trying to help us engage to realize the importance of Vakatabu, the importance of realizing that nature needs to regain itself. One day taken that you're going to kabinikua, the single lebinikua, and bimbi nikena. Marroi na nonda ngoli patike na nonda umangele na kela balusili stale mbaniwa na kena bi matangali so endangraba da rongo da tiko na nana na singa na noa talo rongo binaka ka sala tu me na vida na mbaki no lomani chiku waturanga sa bo binaka ba lebo ni kena ba bulom bola tagitiko nanganga na nonda nganga na itoke. Traditional house heating. Irnangase into the kabana minga se na irara. Right? I remember when I was a little boy, not even going to school, I used to sit in the mburu with my grandfather and he would chant away, right in the middle of the night. Not there sangi yatroga. Ngi muri na udui Amerika na ya sai bura ulai Ivana idambe ni mat singa na dangi ni na dausa muria na dambe ni mata ni singa kombua na uduise. So those were the chants that we had during the days, during the nights when it was a cold night. And then also the wudu-watu, right? I remember as a little boy coming back from Obalau. It was almost dark and we would be chanting away our wudu-watu. Sine tu mekenikoro. Azabunda dage ombure tugu iula pala da tikuna wanga tos tikuna wanga arangai langa budu tokor tolo bidana tuka ir tokor manuanga. Yanu yanu rongo hena burabura nagena idaga usambiut rogotagi maindu anaudu. We'll be chanting with the waves rolling and the birds as we're going down and reaching the village almost at nighttime. Amazing skills and traditional skills that we have. The implication when not enforcing Vakatabu or Vakatabu, without Wambarato Yedangori, korwa turang may bunin dongoloa sa tukitaki na bita ng pagsawati sa numitiku bita tal na kor mesar na tukitaki. Batala kina orto na turang na itame kandabo na kor narikoso tamba tokong gori sa tukitaki. The vanua of the and the Fijian and Ethiopian theology na nungu biokani na nungu Sautu. According to Ravubu, Professor Ravubu has 4 closely interlinked dimensions regarding the vanua: the physical dimension, the social, the cultural, and the spiritual. Una binakata me una bosanga kino bagalaka patotol imberatin dalibasing lebu. Itaukei Fijians believe that the respect of Virokorkovi and submissive spirit or Yalovata are critical to ensure enhance good relationship amongst themselves. Additionally, the vanua has eyes and ears and teeth, as spirits of elders can relate a hidden agenda in the spirit world via signs, dreams, or unusual events. Pomoto ni talo santa rongo tikumena bida na bosa saoti ke nanda bitalo na noa saronga kina na bimbi ni bika nindalao tikumai and dalao tikumai na vanua. Sakemambali, we are here as physically, but we also have our spiritual parents also here supporting us. Irana nanda rando tukini mai nogo vanua o irana kende susu era muri tikumai. Era lao tikumai ni salau mai toko vesi ni vanua. When we look at the social dimension includes social hierarchies and relationship between the people in the vanua. This relationship is not confined within the village set up throughout the village. For example, the people of the 3 provinces, Tailevu, the Konrobe, and Bua Maduata, kitonde vikadi na bosa na yadango na taubu, vi tau na bu, rakin viokani. Kamambal on the viokani on the relationality, it goes well beyond our villages, across boundaries to our tikina, to our district and our tikina and our sana. Another example, the people of Lomaiviti province and the people of Naita City would call each other Matangali, meaning that they are from the same tribe, Matangali. In the spiritual dimension of the vanua, right, we always enforce, with now Christianity has come on board, Nimbera na nonda lotu, wana nonda kalulebu, uirnondanga serando tu na nondra sema bakayalo, non spiritual connection to the vanua. So when I talk about this, I remembered one story and I want to share with you quickly before I finish off today. My mother is from Nanukuloa. At the age of 7, I was in class 2. We had to take a trip to Nawada village, where my aunt, my mom's younger sister, got married to the village of Nawada, Tambuli Nawada. So we did all the rituals, and then after that we had to come back the same day. In the afternoon, around about 5 o'clock, we left Nambowalu, the village of Ndaloma. Remember Ndaloma, then Nambowalu. And sailing across on our canoe, ito wanga kawi na ngona ya na wanga nilungung kasimevale, about 5 of us, plus all the loads of ndalo and yams and the yangona from Nawada. Halfway through, before reaching the island of Vatuira, a sudden change in the weather. I was sitting inside the boat, the canoe. I was pouring away the water from the boat to the sea, back to the sea. My dad was at the rear, holding on to the main steer of the oar, na yuli levu. And then all of a sudden we could not see Viti levu, and then Vanua levu, all disappeared because of a change in weather. There was going to be a heavy rain. It was black clouds all over, and the rain started to pour down, and it was getting dark as well. So we were sailing across for about 30 minutes, and there was nothing no more. We just don't know where we're heading to. And all of a sudden, I heard my dad. He just stood up, and then he just looked up to the sky. In Fijian, he said, "Daw sa tiko nangase, sakito sese, sakire sakatiko nom do bebuke." That's all he said. I didn't even look at him because I was nimata tiko nawang. Within less than 5 minutes, he could feel there was something big that actually touches the bottom of our canoe, of our wanga onibiti. It was a big shark, almost 8 feet long, almost the length of our. So my tatalilai, he was hanging onto the voo, the front part of the sail. So he grabbed the motonivonu, it's the spear that we used to spear the turtle, about to smack that big creature coming down. And then my dad, hang, don't do it, kakwa, muri koyan. So right in front of this big shark, I could see it. It was just about 5-10 meters away. Muri koyan. So we left Vatuira. That was almost 1.5 hours. When he turned, we could see the Vitilevu and the bay, the Vitilevu Bay. So all throughout my life, that's what I call spiritual connectivity. And a story that I've been telling all along of what the underworlds that are there, they're actually there. So we need to continue to reconnect there. Actually, when we do the Sibu Sebu, when we reach the villages, these are all the rituals that are there that we need to protect, and we believe these are all God-given. Next. I'll try to finish off with this epistemological underpinning, the sailing journey, by Winston Halapua, describes the epistemological underpinning of the hyper-modern world to a sailing journey with winds and waves, doing walking, dancing, and talking, as he expresses. Na wai sema buyo kai na bukuni kena lombi mai na wua kena waitui sema tikenda buyo kani. Waves express the rhythm of the moana. Waves embrace the diversity and differences of the sizes of the contours. In the eyes of the oceanic people, the waves are linked to one another, as I've alluded to earlier on. The waves which dance to the generous rhythm of the moana, dance in a company with waves over the horizon. Waves follow one after another, unleashing, unceasing, embracing. They give and give and give. Energy that is in the result of a constant interaction with the wind and the heavens is released. Yasa kananda kinimbula esema titiki nonda bagabiwa kanita ikenda kibirna kambulera tuba ikenda kinonda biwa kani bagaturanga bagabanua. Next, please. Kambimbi sa tongani kini mendabande teken tikan anrakin bulonda biokani kada. Sematiko na nonda tuba baka turanga baka banua. Opombot ndor kai bande teken da tiko na singeni kuwa nonda mbula baka itoke. Tiko na nonda tuba. Tiko na turanga mbale, tiko na turanga ni banua, tiko na sau turanga, tiko rato na mbete, tiko rato na matai sau, tiko rato na mbati. Kana ngandrebi mendarbande itakatiko mendanangarababi na kana nonda itabi. Ka nuita ki ni buli ni kuwa na baganganga ta kan nonda lista londa be chiko ba turanga na buku nonda tutu ken ndo tai ba turanga ba banua ani kana ba mbula taki ka ba ndai taki tiku ni sanandei na banua sanangai rauni ndei na nonda ngado na nonda rokoba na yau mbula ni nonda banua kina ka anda bambota ni sulevi ki anda nonda kalulebu kino tioti. Sababu na sa chukwa lebu na singini kuwa ni saron mi wasi around na tuku laka ni sabole tu na basing lebu. Mambalata nonda bisa mai to kenda na tomata tambusa kaya ni. Kira bi kambula tu babulu bulit kenda sema nonda bi korkor nonda tu bo turanga baba nua. Sema saka nonda sema babu bala babu akan Pasifika. Kena nonda sema na bi kambula tu babu bulit kenda ena buno mamada wili kena mai wasa. Vita saka na tikin lailai ni tiu saka na turanga marama tiu saka na ngan marambalo tin rikete ngon turanga tiu supa mi posom balop sa tiu na singleben kuwa sa ba sa tagan ken lebu.